Here's the start of another project. Price was right on this. No motor, no transmission. Best I can tell, it's about a 74 770 Rambler. Got some rust out here in the floorboard. The dash is bad, but I really like that instrument cluster. No seats, no interior really. Door panels are fair. Just a little rust right here in the back. The trunk, I opened it up, it looks good. Believe it or not, I got keys for it. Looks like maybe a little rust right there. The aluminum here is crunched a bit, but not bad. This side's all good. A little rust right here, but basically it's in decent shape. It'll have no back window. This one's got a window. All the glass is good in it. Well, no, the windshield's cracked, but I just love that instrument cluster there. When I first looked at this car, I thought, well, I think I'll just clean this thing up and put a big block and Pro Street rear end in it and get it running and drive it and sell it to somebody. And then I got to looking at it. I'll show you underneath. Brand new exhaust system all the way up, and it's got some kind of traction bars. You can see it's welded there into the rear end. It's welded real nice here in the frame. Going to the rear end, I don't know what kind of rear end that is, but it's all got brand new bolts, and these bars are going from the frame right up here to the middle of the car. So somebody put some work in this to make it a screamer. So my guess was right. Looks like it got a brand new fuel tank in it. Somebody put a lot of money in this. The story on it, there was they took the interior out to have it redone, and that's as far as I got. But really all I got's a patch over there on the floor. A few rust spots, a couple dents. So back here on the F100, I ordered some new motor mounts, and I put this one in, and it was still, the motor was still setting about 10 or 15 degrees. So I used a longer bolt, and I put a lug nut up in there to raise the whole thing up. It's pretty level now. You can see it was just terrible weld. That was some of the battery acid that ran down my thing. I used some of that super cleaner stuff and just sprayed that real quick. The pan was leaking. Worked pretty good. Took it right off to the paint. I just rubbed it with a rag, and that was just really heavy oil, and put a new bolt in it. It was missing a bolt, so that probably stopped the leak. There was a lot of grease on that starter. I sprayed a little on it. I don't know whether that's going to take it off or not. Kind of doubt it. I just put it on there for kicks just to see what it do. But anyway, I got that motor mount in, and it's not broke like the other one. I'm gonna let it down and see what my motor
back
looks
down.
like.
It's still not straight. It's probably, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, but it's a lot better than it was. And I'm still having some troubles with that carburetor. Kind of wants to surge. I lowered the fuel level again, but I was hoping maybe leveling the motor out might work, might help it. So anyway, the motor mounts in and solid and straighter than it was, so some improvement. I really need to go in there and cut that whole thing out of there and do it right, but at least a whole day project, and I really don't want to do that now. Now you can hear it running. It was really flooded. I had trouble getting it started, but when the idle gets down low, you can see it's blowing smoke. This side sounds a little better. Now it's not surging. I don't know what the deal is. I have it where it's running perfect. Surging a little still. The idle's pretty high, not bad. Pull it down low. You can see the surgeon in it. And I can see a lot of smoke coming out of it there. Almost acts like a vacuum leak or something. But if I shut it off, check the fuel level, it'll be good. And then a couple hours, it'll drain that carburetor right into the motor. So I don't know what the deal is. I have to try to figure that out. A little carburetor, engine degreaser on it, right around the base of that carburetor, and it immediately started surging. So I think my base gasket's leaking. I'll pull that off of there and seal it good, see if that's doing it. Oh, good afternoon, guys. I'm still kind of working on this F100 here, but like I just posted a little video there, I picked up this little, I don't know, 74 or 64 or something like that, Rambler. I just went over to my buddy's shop here. He's got a lot of motors and stuff, and looks like I can get a 454 and a turbo 400 transmission out of a motorhome. Also can get either a 383 or a 440 with a 727 transmission in it. It's possible I could get like a 472 Cadillac. I don't think that's going to will fit in there, but anyway, I got some big block fire breathing monsters. Tried to talk me into 318. No, sorry. I want something good to put in the car, and I'll get a fire breather running out of it, put a good coat of paint on it and some kind of seats or something, and there's a lot of money in that rear end. Somebody was gonna was going to drag race this car, or at least, you know, they had some kind of idea about it, and so I'm going to finish it my way. You know, New Life Automotive, I'll put some life in it, all right. And it's got pretty good tires and wheels on it, but I think he's also got a big pile of fancy chrome rims, you know, and all this stuff. I don't really want to go to all the trouble to tub the thing, but if I could get a good set of wheels, it'd make it worth tubbing. But anyway, I'm kind of tickled thinking about this project. Of course, I had to buy more space to store the thing in, but actually it wasn't a bad deal, $50 a month, so we'll see. So anyway, the Rambler is going to run pretty soon. It'd be interesting when I start on that project. I got so much junk, I haven't even got to start on this AMX being painted. I'm still working on this Ford. I don't know what I'm going to do with any of this stuff, and then right by another junker, you know. Anyway, it ought to be an interesting summer, to say the least. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. There's going to be a lot of funny stuff happening on this channel, I think. All right, bye-bye. Top gasket looked okay, and there was 2 gaskets in the set, and I'm looking at this base gasket that goes under that spacer. I can't really tell if it's leaking or not, but it really looks bad. So I'm going to pull that out of there and make sure that the manifold's good and all my sealing surfaces are good. Put another gasket in it and put all this back on. Carburetor itself, I can't see where it's there's nothing in here that's chipped or gouged or anything that would make it leak. I'll take a file and run across it, make sure it's all flat, but I don't see anything that would cause enough vacuum leak to give me that kind of surge. I'll clean up that other business and see how that looks. Give you another little test of this super clean. This thing is really greasy, of course. It's got a PVC valve in it, or hooked up to one. A lot of oil on it. I'm just spraying it down good. Looks like it's working right away. And I did find a hose. They were really loose. A lot of oil evidence. So most likely those hoses were leaking. And goes into a T that's been plugged, goes nowhere. So I'll find me another piece of hose and make a good hose for it. But anyway, I'll let this set a while and we'll clean it up with a parts brush and some water and see how it does. Job, well, it's got some grease right here. It's been kind of cooked on. Took most of it off, but I'm gonna just give it another shot here and give it a little bit longer to work. But it did take most of it off. And I cleaned it with a parts brush. They're not real aggressive, but it was black before and now it's blue, so pretty much took it off. I've got a few places left here where it was cooked. Of course, that's on the manifold, so that's pretty tough stuff. I'll let that set a few minutes, and this time I'm going to hit it with a wire brush See if I can get the rest of that off, and I'll probably paint it while I'm looking for a hose. Your hose was too big, so this is all what went to my PVC. You can see it's pretty bad. So I'm just gonna try this cleaner on this hose, and I'll make sure I got decent plugs in it. Clean it all up and just use this. Get some of that oil off there and tighten these hose clamps up better than what they are. Yeah, it's got a lot of really thick, heavy oil on it. Well, I'm just gonna kind of rough do it with a parts brush here. I've still got some of the cleaner here on the box, so that should be able to clean it off pretty good, and then I'll wash it with water. Well, it took all of that baked on grease off of here. Might be a little right there in the corner, but it cleaned this thing up real good. And the hoses, it cleaned them up like nobody's business. They're all really clean now. No oil, no nothing on them. And these were just covered with old PVC, you know, motor oil. It's just sucking and leaking. Been doing that for years. There was no clamp on this. That could have been a big part of my vacuum leak. I'll see what I can do there about making a decent line. Meantime, I'll throw a little paint on this and clean it up and use 2 gaskets. I think I'll probably fix my carburetor problem just by doing this. There it is all back. I just cleaned up that mess there. Put hose clamps on it everywhere so I don't have leaks. And my coil was really funky mounted, so I put a good bolt in there. I don't know why I use Class 8 bolts on these, or grade 8. But I found a sticker on it, and it turns out that this is a 1971 351 Windsor, according to that tag. So that aligns with what I want, or what I thought. The motor's a lot straighter than it was. Coil's good and solid now, and everything's hooked up, so I guess we're ready to try to start it. I don't know if I can put this camera up here or not. All completely gone. Too soon. I got fuel leaking out of it there. Let's see if I can figure out what it is. This ain't running. Looks like I didn't have my fuel line on it good. I'll clean that up and restart it. There it is, burning like you're kidding. No leaks. Idling good. No surging. Nice acceleration. Not smoking at all. So I think after a couple days of fighting with this, that's the way it should be. Idle's still kind of high, but I left that a little high because of the way it was. I'm going to set it down just a tad here. spark plugs for it for the other side. I'll put them in. Spark plugs I got. I thought I was ordering 8 off of eBay when I was first doing this, and it was like $29, and I thought, well, that's enough for 8 plugs. Turned out it was only 4. But I got to digging around there, and they had some 2 packs for $3 or something. So I think I paid about $8 for these, and probably 3 or 4 shipping. So 4 of these plugs were the same price as one of these. One plug on the other side would pay for all 4 of these. So that's why I don't have plugs in the side, but I'm going to stick them in now. They should work fine. They don't look too bad. Sounds better. Not missing at all. This side here is not missing. Still got a little bit of smoke. I still need to get in there and do those valves. Accelerates really good. Comes right down to good idle.